There we go. I think we're live. Right. I'm just going to go into the Facebook group, Allison, just to make sure,
Okay.
before we start chatting away and chat to no one. So let me
Yeah,
just,
it says on mine. Yeah, it's streaming live.
Okay, brilliant. So Allison, obviously I haven't really given you much of an intro. We've literally just come on Zoom together. So, before I start asking you questions and anything like that, I'll just do a quick introduction, just to tell people who you are and a little bit about kind of these Monday night lives. So I'm back. So I've had lots of time off. I've had to take lots of Mondays off because I was traveling to Ireland, traveling back from Ireland, and every month we traveled on a Monday night. So I haven't been able to do this. So for any ladies that are new to the Facebook group, so new to this group, I'm sorry, but every single Monday I do normally do a live at 8 p.m. and it's every single Monday. And I've done that without fail since February. So over the last 4 weeks, there's been a lot of women that have joined and haven't seen any of this. So I do apologize. Things will be back to normal now. So they're different. Every single one is different. So tonight we've got an awesome woman, Allison. Welcome, Allison. So Allison's been with us about 6 months. It's an absolute pleasure to have her with me tonight. And essentially, I'm not going to be doing all the talking. I'm going to be asking some questions, and Allison's going to be sharing her story. And she has got some incredible results. So I'm really, really excited to share her story, her experiences, what's worked for her, what's gone well. And hopefully you'll get a bit of an insight, not only into working with us and what that's like and how we might be able to help you, because some of you in the group will end up working with us. But more importantly, you'll get a bit of an insight into kind of how we're getting the kind of results that we do with the ladies we work with. But as I said, every Monday, 8 p.m, I go live in this Facebook group. All you got to do is jump into the group, refresh the page, scroll down a little bit, and you'll see a video with a live in the top corner. All right. So if you've never seen this before, you will see me every single Monday, and you'll probably get sick of me after a little while, but hopefully I'll give a lot of value and help you out. So if you're watching, just because I know Facebook have changed their algorithm, they do this all the time, and they're deprioritizing lives. So if you're watching, I can see Angela's already commented, said, well done, Allison. I can see Joey, Deborah, like members. I can see some new ladies, Jan, Tracy, Pearl. If you're watching this, just say hello, press the like button, the love heart button. What that will do is that will inform other people in the group that we're now live, that this is a live stream going on, and it will show it to more people. So it means that more women in the group can benefit from this. So, comment below, tell me whether you're, hashtag live, if you're here live, if you're watching this tomorrow or later in the week from your hashtag replay, just write a comment underneath. Katie, your coach, is watching, Allison. So she's just said, hey, Allison. Julie says hello. I know Julie was keen to watch this tonight. Pearl, who's a new member to the group, she says, way to go. So as I said, I'm going to read out some of these comments as we go through. Right, enough of my talking. And I'm going to do this a little bit differently. So typically we wait right to the end, and I ask, women that come on this for their top tip. So I'm going to ask you now, so we can give some benefits and like some, kind of tips right away at the very beginning. So thinking about your whole 6-month journey, is there one thing like that's really, really benefited you that you would recommend to anyone else who is watching this and wants to lose weight?
Oh, goodness. Thank you for such a wonderful, wonderful introduction. It's fabulous. You've made me feel fabulous right from the word go. And that's my top tip, to use all of ARC's resources, because it's incredible. It's given me my confidence. It's helped me with my weight and my habits, and millions of different things that I could write a book about it now. I mean, yeah, use the resources and drink lots of water.
Okay, so there we go. So drink lots of water. Obviously, the members in this group, they won't get access to all of the stuff that you get access to in our private members group. I'm guessing that's what you're kind of referring to, the stuff with Chloe and Jen and all those.
Well, okay then. For the women in general, believe in yourself and put yourself first. That is the most important thing I've learned.
Oh, I love that. Do you think that's been one of the biggest changes for you, Allison?
Yes, it has. Yes, I've been caring for people since I was 16. a long time.
And what do you mean by that? Like, who have you cared for? Like, has it been part of your career? Has it just been just you as a person around your family and your friends?
Yeah, just family, husbands, children, grandchildren. Yeah, just general people in my circle. I do charity work sometimes, and so yeah, always about other people, never about me.
And I guess actually, this is something that I obviously have lots and lots of conversations with women like yourself, and you obviously you've like embodied that, like, you know, starting to prioritize yourself and do things for yourself. But a lot of the women I speak to will say, you know, they can't do that because they feel selfish, or you know, it's unnatural because they haven't, like yourself, their whole life they haven't done that, and it's really, really hard to change that. What would you say to those women?
It is a battle with yourself. You can't really discuss it with anybody else because it affects you, and everybody else has got different opinions of who you are. You know yourself if you're not happy, and you have to move heaven and earth to change that, because you only get one chance at life, and if you don't use it now, you don't know how long you've got. Just go for it.
And do you like now on reflection, having starting to make changes for yourself, do you think it's selfish?
No, because everybody else is benefiting. They've all noticed what I've done at work, at play, with my family. All my family have said how much I've changed. And that's not just physically, that's mentally and emotionally.
Is there anything in particular that they've kind of, your family, friends and that have picked out and said, like, we've noticed a real difference in, you know, any one particular thing?
Yep, I'm happier. Lots and lots happier.
That's brilliant.
I cried this morning because I finally cut off a relationship for the very last time, all contact. And that's the first time I've cried for months. You know, when you're not happy with yourself, you're an emotional wreck anyway. So yeah, I'm just happy. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong, I have bad days, you know, life's not a picnic all the time, but yeah, I'm happy.
So if we take it all the way back, by the way, anyone that's watching this live, because I can see there's nearly 20 women. I actually, because I haven't been live for so long, I didn't expect so many. I thought I'd hardly get anyone come and watch tonight. So it's brilliant that so many are watching. So any of you that are watching, by the way, if you have questions, obviously I'm questioning Allison, and I want to try and tease out stuff that would potentially help you. But if you have questions, if there's things that you want to know, okay, how, or specific questions that crop up as we go through, please don't hesitate. Just drop them in the comments below. And I'll either stop and kind of deliver them to Allison, or at the end, we can kind of go back to them. So, you know, please don't hesitate. Just drop questions in there, comment. I can see Claire, a new lady in the group, she said, like, so very true. Like, I can see that you're already really relating to a lot of the women that are watching. So if we go all the way back then, Allison, so now you feel happier, more confident, you know, you've had the confidence to break a relationship off because it's not serving you, and you're starting to put yourself first. Tell me what you were like 6 months ago. Like, what was the difference? How were you feeling? Like, what was really bothering you? What prompted you to kind of book in a call with me, essentially?
Well, unlike a lot of your ladies, I'm probably at the end of my menopause, well and truly. But just before the beginning of the pandemic, I lost my mum. And so we didn't get the comfort we'd normally get while we were in the pandemic, obviously, but I still had to go to work. So I worked all the way through that. And yeah, ARC's helped so much keep my confidence up. And Katy, she's been absolutely amazing. I'd like to call her my best friend, because she's always been there. And even stuff like this with my mum and with John, and anything that goes wrong, I can talk to her about it, and she sees the positive sides of things. So she doesn't sympathize with you and pat you on the back and say there. She gives you some real information to boost you up again, you know, little snippets of this and that, and it really boosts you up. That helps a lot. But I mean, all the way through last year, everybody was feeling rubbish, but because I was with art, I was focused. I had something to focus on. I could develop, even though everything else was sort of imploding. You know, the whole country, the whole world was sort of on their own planet. And yeah, I know I'm not making a lot of sense. I don't watch television, so that helped. You know, I could concentrate on things. I've learned not to beat myself up. You know, and all these things through the last year, it's all taken time. It takes a long time to make a habit, and it takes an awful lot longer to change it. And I've still got a long way to go. But also, I mean, just the main thing was to believe in myself, to believe that I could do it, to believe you were all telling me I could do it. And hey ho.
So a couple of things based off what you said, Alison. So first of all, tell everyone that's watching how old you are, because they probably won't believe it, I don't think.
I'm 64. I was 64 about a month ago.
And in the comments, like, doesn't Allison look incredible? Like, she looks great. So I know that as women I speak to are like, oh, you know, I'm menopausal, I'm in my 50s, and I can't lose weight. I just won't, it won't happen for me. I'm too old. I've just got to accept the way I am. As you can see, like, Allison looks incredible. She's like mid-60s, coming up to mid-60s, looks fantastic. And then the other thing was tell the women that are watching, because they probably don't know who Katy is. Who is Katy? And like, how does she like help you? What's the process with Katy?
Okay, Katy Lampard is my coach. She's there for a weekly Zoom meeting with me. We talk about all sorts of things, and she will give me training sessions if I want them, which I don't at the moment, and exercises and recipes. She does the recipes. She's like having another mum, even though she's younger than me. It's brilliant. I mean, you can talk to her and she makes sense out of things. And if she doesn't know it, she'll look it up. And you get immediate answers. You haven't got to wait 2 weeks down the line for the next meeting or something. She looks them up there and then. She messages me 2 or 3 times a week. Even now, even tonight, she messaged me. So hi, Katy, love you lots.
Yeah, she's commenting on this. She's loving it. And by the way, she said you look gorgeous. In fact, Caroline said, wow, she's amazing. Julie said, wow. Tracy, she looks so happy. Caroline, wow, she's amazing. Debbie, looking fab. You're getting loads and loads of compliments and loads of positive feedback, Allison. And you are. I remember our first call, even though you weren't very happy and, you know, you were in a place you didn't want to be in, I always felt that deep down you're a really positive person, and I really felt we could help you and you'd be a really great fit. And like, you're just I think like a ray of sunshine. Like, you're so positive. So just out of interest, like, I can't remember, back to our first call, what had you tried in the past? Like, what had you tried up to this point?
Oh, well, in 1999, I moved to Spain with my husband and 2 small children. And as soon as we got there, we needed to find a job. And the first job I found, I didn't know what it was at the time, was Herbalife. It's an American company that sells nutrition at a price. And I did really well on it. And I worked my way up the ladder a little way, but I didn't buy my own success, mainly because I couldn't accept the cost of it. It was an ongoing cost. you would only lose the weight if you use their products. In Spain, you can, if you get sunburn, you can cut a tomato in half and that will get rid of the sunburn. But I was told, well, you're not going to sell tomatoes. If you don't sell our stuff, then you're not going to make any money, even though you know the tomatoes are going to work. And so I don't really think I completely bought it, even though I did spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds on products that I did sell to people, but you've got to believe in it yourself to be able to convince somebody else. And that wasn't working. So then when we came back in 2007, I tried the Slimming World. And because I've got psoriasis, a lot of the foods that they were advising you to eat weren't any good to me, because they would make my skin flare up. And so as well as being self-conscious about that, I was sat there feeling the failure again, because I hadn't lost any weight and I couldn't explain why I couldn't do this and why I couldn't do that. And it was just, it was just one of the most, it was a horrible experience. And people are still doing it. They're still going there.
So obviously you tried like the Herbalife products, and obviously didn't maintain the results after you stopped using them, and then you tried some diet clubs and stuff like that. What, obviously you seem brimming with confidence right now, and we could talk about your results in a minute, but what do you think the big kind of differences are between all of that stuff that you've done in the past and kind of what you've been doing with us over the last 6 months?
I'm eating normally. I know when I cheat. I know when I'm having something I shouldn't. I got to admit, I do like protein shakes. So I do have protein powder at home, because it's ideal if you've got lots of fruit in the garden, or there's some of it not very nice to look at, but you can chuck it in a smoothie, bung in some protein powder, and you've got perfect little meal there, or snack. It's just so easy. No, I haven't shed loads of weight, but I'm comfortable doing what I'm doing. I can always do better.
And so you've dropped. Did I get it right, or have I got it wrong? I might have got it wrong. Have you dropped 4 dress sizes?
Yes, at least.
That, like, I wanted to check this, because when I wrote it down, because I remember you saying, and then I was like, have I got this right? When I started writing the titles and stuff, I was like, have I got this right? So in 6 months, you've dropped 4 dress sizes.
Yeah, brilliant.
That is amazing. Are you happy?
Oh, damn right, I'm happy. In fact, I think I can probably get into the next one down now. And I bought some trousers, a size 10 by mistake, and I was a size 20, and I got them on. So some it's working.
That is amazing. But you said like, so I want to point this out, actually. I think this is really, really important. You said you haven't actually lost a lot of weight on the scales.
Well, in 6 months.
How much have you lost, Alison?
10 or 11 kilos.
Okay, so that's about 22, 24 pounds. So about not far off 2 stone. So 1.5 stone to 2 stone in 6 months. I think that's pretty good. But yeah, okay. I get what you're saying. But okay, so now you've got you've dropped 4, maybe 5 dress sizes, and you've only lost 22, 24 pounds. What is actually most important to you, and why? Is it the dress sizes? Is it the number on the scales? Put you on the spot.
I think I do get a bit pissed off if I don't lose some weight. I got to admit, I mean, I've had 3 weeks with a kidney infection. I hardly ate anything. All I was doing was drinking water, and the scales went right down to 73 kilos. And I thought, what? And then the next day they'd gone back up to 76. So no, I don't take any. I still do it, but I'm not so bothered about it, because I don't know. It's just, how can I don't understand it myself. How can I lose all that and yet the scales still say something different?
Yeah. Well, I'll do a bit of education now, Alison, because I know there are people watching. So, so ladies watching this, if all of your kind of emotions, all of your success is tied to the number on the scales, like as you can see, Allison has lost weight on the scales, like 1.5 stone, nearly 2 stone, but not as much as maybe she probably has on other diets and stuff like that. So there's various first of all, one, if your emotions are all tied to the scales, then you're probably going to be disappointed, not just short term, but in the long term. Realistic progress for most women is anything between 1 and 2 pounds, like week upon week on average, like consistently. If you have a particularly a lot amount of weight to lose, it'd be about 3 pounds. And if you've lost more than 2 pounds a week on average, what you're probably losing is 1, muscle, and 2, water, mainly water and partially muscle. And the reason why you probably won't get the dress size drop that Allison has had is for this reason as well. Because if you're losing muscle, muscle takes up less space than fat does. It's more dense. So a pound of muscle weighs the same as a pound of fat. The difference being that muscle is a lot smaller. So on most diets, especially shake diets, especially juice diets, stuff like that, women will not be eating sufficient protein to sustain muscle mass, to sustain muscle, which gives your body shape, but also is a lot smaller in terms of how much space it takes up in the body. So they'd mainly be, if you're doing a shake diet, if you're doing a diet which doesn't have any like focus on protein intake, then you're going to be losing some muscle and you're going to be losing a lot of water, which will mean your body shape won't actually change as much. Like we've had clients that have lost hardly any scale weight, but their body has completely transformed. And that's without doing, like, you don't do weight training or anything, Allison?
No.
So Allison's dropped 4 to 5 dress sizes, purely focusing on diet, mindset, lifestyle, all of those kind of areas. So if you're watching this and you're really focused on the scale weight is a marker of progress. We definitely use it. It's really, really helpful, but it's really hard to control. Like it's out of your control. It's out of our control. And if you focus on something you can't control, you're going to be disappointed. And what I mean by that is, say, for example, you go on an airplane. If you were to weigh yourself when you got off the airplane, you'd be heavier. Think about the mark on your socks and the mark, like that's from swelling, that's from water retention, not because you've gained fat. So if you're relying on those numbers, which can be impacted by, you know, how much salt is in your diet. If you eat a saltier meal, you're going to be heavier the next day. The amount of carbs you eat, and not because carbs make you fat, but they're stored with water. Like lots and lots of things impact the scale weight. So use it, because actually if it's not going downwards at all, then you're not losing fat. But as you can like ask yourself, is it the most important thing? Because who sees the scale weight? So Allison, does anyone actually know, like when they to look at you, what the scale weight changes are?
No.
But can they see if you've dropped dress sizes?
Oh yes, I got a waist now. For heaven's sake, you know, what more do you want?
So I hope this is hopefully starting to change some people that are watching their mindset around the scale weight. Like it is useful, like we do use it, but ask yourself, is that what's really important? Because unless you're putting the number on your forehead every time the weight changes, no one knows what it is. The only person that sees that's you. However, if you're changing your body shape, if you're dropping dress sizes, everyone will see that. And you'll see it in the mirror. And what's the thing that's going to make you feel sexy, going to make you feel confident? Is it going to be the number, or is it going to be how you look naked? What do you reckon, Allison?
Well, yeah, I'm not too bothered about walking around naked now. Not so anybody else can see, but yeah.
So obviously you've dropped nearly 5 dress sizes. You've dropped like well over 20 pounds. What else has changed for you? Like, how else has this impacted you?
I sleep better. I sleep all night. I have got a lot more energy. I think my outlook has changed as well, because all of you coaches, you don't just tell us about how to change our shape and nutrition and things like that. It's almost a holistic approach. I know that sounds weird, but I don't know. Yeah, that's a hard one.
So what do you mean by that? What is there in the program that makes it holistic for you?
With the yoga, I mean, I don't do yoga. I don't mind watching it, but I don't. I'm not that supple yet, and I think, well, it's just you're looking at the whole person, not just the bits, the bumpy bits.
I don't know whether this helps. Joey, who's working with us as well, she's put, because you said something like this earlier, she put true. ARC is about much more than losing weight. It's about rebooting your life and getting back your zest for life.
Yeah, perfectly said. Perfect.
Would you say that's about right?
Yeah, definitely.
And Ange, she said she's only lost about 1.5 stone as well, but she's dropped nearly 4 dress sizes. And she's saying, don't worry about the scale weight.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, totally agree.
Okay, I think we'll, I won't keep you too much longer, Allison, because I think you've been amazing. There's so many really positive comments. So we'll see if other people have got questions. I know there was one question. I'm looking down because I'm trying to find it. There was definitely one question. So I'm just trying to find that and we'll ask it. So you said you were nervous before this, by the way. How's it been?
Oh, absolutely fine.
Okay, so Debbie, she's actually working with us. So she said, how did you maintain a positive attitude? And what do you do if you feel old habits creeping back in?
I talk to Katy. She's my first go-to. If I slip back, I tell Katy about it. My biggest problem is writing down things. So I don't tend to remember, but going on the wayside, we'll do it for the whole of our lives. We do it. Even the coaches do it. You know, you have a little wander to the side and have a bar of chocolate or something. It doesn't matter. It's part of living. You can't wear blinkers. You have to encompass the whole of what ARC's teaching us. That's what I think anyway.
I love it. I really like that. And I think actually that's a really, really good point. To get the results that you've got, have you had to be perfect? Have you had to do absolutely everything to the letter?
God, no. I don't exercise. I've got one of my ornaments in my new living room is a rowing machine. I've been on it twice. I keep promising Katy I'm going to get on it. But when you're lifting furniture about and digging the garden, I think that's exercise anyway. So I incorporate my exercise into my daily life.
I'm going to probe there, just because I've had a few conversations with women recently that don't believe me. They're like when they say, how can you lose weight without exercise? So you've done 0 exercise, Allison.
Yeah, really, if you call it yeah. I did one of the resistance band sessions, did that one morning, gave it a try. I've done a couple of other things and I've looked on the guides for the different videos. But I don't know, it's not top of my list, I suppose. If you like exercise, that's fine. But I don't even have a pedometer, so I don't even know how far I walk in a day. But I know I'm never sat down doing nothing.
Yeah.
So
I'm not a liar. You can lose weight without exercise.
Definitely. I've done it.
Caroline's asked a really good question. She said, when you know someone depends on you, how do you still manage to put yourself first?
You can't look after somebody if you're unhappy. If you're happy yourself, you can give so much more to other people. I know that probably sounds weird, but if you run yourself down into the ground, you don't have the energy to look after anybody else. And if you're miserable, then the same thing mentally and emotionally. It's all relevant to the same thing. Don't know, I'm making any sense.
No, I think you make total sense. And I think what you just said is really powerful, Allison, as well. So I know that there's like people I know that have, you know, sick relatives, and they feel like it's their job to do that. But as you said, you know, it's hard. But if you don't give yourself some time, then ultimately long term, how are you going to be able to look after them?
And you've got to learn to say no. And it's the hardest word in the language, to say no to somebody who's asked you to help them. But if you deep down can't cope with that, then you shouldn't be doing it. You know, I mean, and yes, we have to do things we don't want to do, but take a step back and some time for yourself.
And like, does that mean, Allison, that you always say no, that you always put yourself first?
I've never said no, not until I met you.
Because I think like when, you know, I think with most things in life, it's about striking a balance. And I hate using that word because that means so many different things to different people. But from my opinion, I don't know how you feel. My opinion, it's about striking a balance. It's not saying no to everything. It's not being completely no. All I care about is myself. That's not what you're saying.
No, you have a choice, and people should give you a choice to make the decision that you're comfortable with. I mean, I've had children and now got grandchildren. I brought up my children. My children shouldn't expect me to bring up my grandchildren as well. When do I get time for me? I mean, we don't know how long we're here for. So, you know, I could be looking after people, children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and then I look back and think, oh, I wanted to do that, but I never had the time. But yeah, I mean, you can look at it like that, but it's like you say, there is a balance. You have to just say no sometimes.
Definitely. Another really good question from Tracy. I think this is Tracy's first time live. Awesome to have you on. She said, how do you drop dress sizes, but not weight? So before Allison answers, she has lost weight. She's lost about 24 pounds. It's not that she's not losing weight. So what's 6 months is 26 weeks. So Allison has lost an average of £1 a week consistently. So she has lost weight. So she said, how do you drop set dress sizes, but not weight without exercise?
Well, Adam's the best person to tell you that. Gosh, I've just been doing what I'm told.
So Tracy, if you message me, I can send you some links to some training videos, which breaks down a bit more detail what we do. But essentially there isn't a set formula. Like other companies, like, you know, I don't want to pick anyone out, but other companies will tell you, you must do it this way. This is the only way that works. Well, the science disagrees. Essentially, there is 1,000,001 ways to do this. So what we do, because we're nutritionists, well, we've got a whole team of experts. What we do is we work one-to-one with the individual. We find a diet that they can actually stick to long-term. And it's not a diet, it's looking at their current diet and helping them make changes. We look at their lifestyle and we look at their their behaviors and their decisions, and we try to help them to make decisions and change their lifestyle to a way that they can stick to long term, because it's really important to recognize that if you can't stick to it forever, you can't stick to it long term, it's not going to last. And the only way to do that is to build an individualized program. So looking at the individual. So I hope that answers your question, Tracy. But if obviously I'll let Allison expand on that, but essentially if you want, you want me to give you some more information, some more training videos, feel free to send me a message. Is there anything you wanted to add to that, Allison?
Like you say, Katy talks to me about where I'm struggling. And so it's the habits of long-term eating that are the things that you have to address first. I've never been a great one for salads and vegetables. I love vegetables, but actually standing there and preparing them, I've never really thought about before. If I'm making a roast, I do things like that, but it's something that it's a habit. And it's just one of those habits. If you want to get those results and you want to change, it's a habit you're going to break, and it doesn't happen overnight. It's something that's you've got to work on. I mean, this isn't just going to come out of a box like I don't know, like tablets. You do have to put some effort into this. And it is difficult sometimes to say, no, I really don't want that cheeseburger. And yeah, but I don't know. Help me, Adam.
No, I think you've been amazing, Allison. I can't see any more questions. So I just want to say, first of all, to the ladies that are watching tonight, I genuinely didn't, because I haven't been live for a while, I didn't expect so many of you to turn up. So thank you so much. Thank you all for your lovely comments for Allison and the support you've given her this evening as well. So I do appreciate people commenting, engaging, like it makes it so much easier. And then obviously, Allison, thank you. Like, I think you've been brilliant this evening. You're so positive. You've shared lots of insights. So thank you so much for giving up your time this evening and being really open and honest. That's it from both of us this evening. So as I said at the start, if you want to get some insight, get some value within the free group without being a member, without working for us, we do go live I go live every single Monday at 8 p.m. And it's different all the time. So sometimes we get clients in, sometimes I do like a workshop. Like it's different every single Monday. So thank you to those that turned up, and hopefully see you all next week and the week after, and so on and so forth. Thanks, Allison. Don't worry, I'm not going to disconnect it, so we'll be able to chat afterwards. All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you.